you agree or disagree with what that woman said in that video? Why or why not?
So I agree and disagree. All right. Now here's what I agree with. Okay. Fellas, the price range shit that women say, that shit only applies to the men they don't like. We get the guys like me get the fuck for free. So don't let them hit you with this price range bullshit. They fucking the back of cars. They fucking movie theaters. They do anything they want to do for the dude that they want. So don't sit up and deal with women who don't want you, who want to finesse you and talk about what a first date needs to be. That's a bunch of bullshit. I've been dating for the last, since I've been divorced, nothing but women who model, are attractive, used to model, this, that, and the other, high expense lifestyle, all of that shit. And don't none of that shit apply if you the guy that they want to ride. None of it. So every single one of these women that sit up and act like they got a high price tag has a handful of dudes, or at least one dude, that's been getting all the smoke, getting that guac guac 3000 for next to nothing. And she's paying to have the Uber delivered. So do not get caught up in this bullshit argument this woman's talking about.
Oh, hold on. Black Jesus, Black
Finesse
Jesus,
guy.
Black Jesus, come right back. Come right back. You breaking up. Come right back. Holy.
Who
Hold on,
told him the
fellas.
secret?
Fellas. Is he speaking facts or is he speaking fiction? So
He's speaking
them
facts.
standards, listen, fellas, let me tell you something. Those unrealistic, delusional, high standards that they only have those for the men that they don't like. Everybody in the comments saying facts. Like he said, for the men that they really like, they're gonna pay for their own Uber. They gonna get the got. They gonna get the got 3000. They gonna toot their ass up. They gonna do all that for the man that they actually like. Only for the men that they don't like are they gonna have all those standards. Like he said, don't let these women trick you out of your place. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. He coming back up.
Yeah.
Yo.
So women who kick all of that shit, what they're doing when they're having these conversations in public is flexing. So you got women who sit up and tell you body count don't matter. And these same women that get up and give you all these standards to tell you body count don't matter. And if I don't smash 20 dudes or 30 dudes or 50 dudes, it don't matter. It's none of your business. So you giving this shit away damn near for free. And then you turn around, the same woman turn around out the other side of her mouth, talk about how they need to go to Roof Crisp if they want to consider you for a serious dating and this, that, and the other. Most of them don't believe in marriage anymore, don't want to be married, ain't wives, sitting up with these high ass standards for what a man needs to do to get to know them. Let me tell you, fellas, something. Here's what makes one of the things that makes you truly valuable to women. When you are ready to settle down, when you are ready to be a husband, when you are ready to be loyal and love a woman and have a meaningful long-term relationship with a woman, and you start out the getting to know each other by letting the girl know that you a serious dude and ain't one of these motherfuckers that's out here trying to play, that's what makes you valuable. That makes you valuable to women because they can run into guys who got all types of pocketbooks, and those guys are all a dime a dozen and don't want nothing serious, ain't talking serious, ain't got their lives together, ain't got shit together, and ain't got nothing. And they sit up and run a good game, talk a good game, drive a nice car that's barely working, right? Or that the payments is a little bit too much, but they flexing. It's a whole bunch of bullshit. And women date these fake ass dudes, find out that they fake, and they're on to the next one. So if you are a real dude where you can cover the expense of your own life, that don't mean you rich, brother. That
Right.
means you got your shit together, you can cover the expense of your own life, and you talking serious things. Any woman that's still trying to evaluate you based off of Olive Garden or Ruth Chris, you don't need her anyway. She ain't a fucking wife. So all this stuff that they're talking, it's a whole bunch of side conversation to distract you from the truth. If you out here playing, if we talking about just mating and dating and taking chicks to Pound Town and this, that, and the third, fuck with the women who fuck with you. Don't sit up and chase around these chicks who act like they got high standards for you. That shit is a barrier to entry. You'll pay for dinner, and then what happens? They still don't let you smash. You fly these chicks out, what we seeing? We seeing videos where they still don't let them fuck because they don't want those men. If they wanted them, they wouldn't have to pay such a high price to get the draws, especially in the nobody count nation that we living in right now. Fuck out of here.
Uh, I don't know. Listen, I don't disagree with anything that you said. I know you just said everything that you just said, but I was already aware of that. I don't disagree at all. That's why I gave you woman the opportunity to come up here because I already knew what was going to happen. So again, some of y'all in your feelings right now. I'm not letting you come up here. What not clicking?
It's,
What's not clicking, Steven? What do you have to
he's
do
speaking
you
facts.
agree? Do you agree
He
or disagree with what he said, ma'am?
he's speaking facts. I think you're speaking facts as far as smashing. Yeah, we gonna if we want to fuck a nigga, we gonna fuck a nigga whether he giving us shit or not, right? But if we don't really want to fuck you, yeah, we gonna make you do more to get it. But when it comes to dating, I don't necessarily think just because we have certain standards, because the standards are different for somebody I'm gonna fuck versus somebody I'm trying to be with long term. So I can very well still have those standards. But obviously, if I know I'm just trying to fuck on this dude and not make him not be with him, my standards are not going to be the same for him as they will be for somebody who I'm actually trying to pursue or who's actually trying to pursue me.
All right, so let me ask you a question, man. And even though he presented me as like this very divisive person, my ideas are divisive, but I believe in being respectful to you so we can
Yeah,
have a meaningful
he's
dialogue,
100%
okay?
respectful. Right.
Okay. So
Yes, absolutely.
okay, so ma'am, if I'm looking at me as a man and you say, okay, let me get this straight. The guys that you like get to fuck for free. But if I want to have a relationship with you, if I want as a man to give you a commitment as a man, to give you an actual commitment, then I need to pay a higher price than the men who just want to fuck. Can you understand why a guy would look at that as an unfair deal and pass?
Oh yeah, I can understand that why it
Okay.
seems unfair, but I think there's unfair advantages to each gender. So I thought
I
that's just
get it,
part of
but
life.
I get it, but do you see why most men don't accept that and complain about the cost of dating? Most men are complaining about the cost of dating because they're cheap. They're complaining about the cost of dating because it's a ripoff. So the concept that she gave when she said, "Hey, you don't go in and try to barter to buy that purse for $2,000 because you know the price is the price." But then you just talk to some other niggas that got the same purse and they got it for $5. They got it for a hot and ready. And now you want me to pay $2,000 for that purse, and I'm not going to do it. And then you saying to me the reason I don't want to do it is because I'm cheap. No, it's not. So you damage your own value to men when you give yourself away for free for the man you want to pay full price. And it seems like most women don't understand that anymore. Y'all used to get it, but now there's all these intellectual pontifications from women about what men should value. And the truth is, we don't see it the way y'all see it.
And let me
And
say
we're
something
not
before you
changing.
say something. Yeah, let me say something before you speak, Stephen. I've said this before, and I'm gonna say it again. Um, a lot of you women, a lot of you women, whether you want to acknowledge it or not acknowledge it, a lot of you women are out here being escorts. You know, you are for sale. You know, y'all complain about. Hey, yeah, Black Jesus, please mute your Bluetooth. Is coming is echoing. Yeah, a lot of y'all, you know, you make yourself. Y'all have a problem. Y'all say men objectify y'all. Y'all say men compare you to cars. They compare you to houses. They compare you to property. But all of y'all make yourself for sale at the end of the day. Like whoever is the highest bidder, whoever is the highest bidder is going to get you. And like Black Jesus said, you only have those certain standards for the men for the men that you really don't like for real. But the guy that you do like you said, you're going to pay your own Uber. You're gonna come over there. You're gonna drop your jaws. You're gonna drop your drawers. You're gonna have your booty tooted up. You're gonna do everything. You're gonna pay for your Uber. You're gonna pay for your Uber on the way back to your crib. You're gonna do all of that. So, like I said, and I stand by a lot of you are escorts. You know, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, because you're for sale. Whoever is bidding the highest is gonna have the most access to you. That's what it is at the end of the day. and that's sad. That's super sad. I don't know who raised y'all to be like that. I don't know. I don't know if your mothers was on that type of time or your older sisters, but it's sad. I don't know where y'all got that from, but it's sad.
I
So
but here's
listen,
my
just
question.
going forward. Listen, I always say this. Please, ladies, let me tell y'all something. Say what your price is up front. Just say what your price is up front, okay? Don't try to make it seem like you some innocent girl and you not out here for sale. You not selling. Say what your price is up front, so that man can make the decision if he wants to invest in you or not. But don't try to make yourself seem like somebody that you're not. Go ahead, Steven.
But my question is, because this whole conversation still comes back to men dealing with women. You knew a woman was a certain way when you met her by her the way she carried herself. And then you're upset because she continues to act that same way when you could just go find a woman that isn't that way. Because there are women who are materialistic, who don't care about what you bring to the table and how much money you can get them and stuff like that. So why not go date those women instead of trying to change the women who do require a little bit more?
But Steven, if I just met you last Friday, right? And you had on your Sunday best, right? You had on a nice watch, you had on a nice necklace. I don't know, you were double C'd, you were double G'd out, you had some Balenciaga red bottoms on. Like I was saying to the first two people that got on here, you might have not been here, but how do I know? I listen, someone like me in the position that I'm in, I'm not just going to assume that that's how you're really living. That's just how you're appearing to me right now. That car that you're driving, I don't know if that's really your car or not. I don't know if you really bought that car. I don't know if you're really making payments on that car. That bag that you got right there, I don't even know if that's your bag for real. That outfit that you have on, I don't know if you can go to the mall on a random Monday and go get that name brand designer whenever you feel like it. Cause like I said, Steven, I don't know if you were here. There are women out here, they have hair, they have nails, they have bags, they have a nice car, they don't have no furniture in their crib. They're literally living out of a black garbage bag, traveling from friend's house to friend's house, sleep couch surfing every 2 weeks. Like we can't just directly correlate how someone's really living to how they're appearing. We can't do that. Come on now. And
But I
not
feel
just for
like it's
women, for
fair
men
to,
too. For men
because
too.
but I think it's fair to for men and women, because regardless of if they're actually living like that, you now know that's the way they want to be perceived. So you now know they desire these kind of things, regardless of whether they can actually provide that for themselves or not. The way they're presenting themselves to the world, that they have a certain persona they want to give other people.
All
So
right, so I'm
assume
sorry,
let's
babe.
say
I didn't mean to
if
cut you
I'm
off.
trying
Keep going.
Oh, so no, you're okay. If I'm approaching a guy, I'm gonna assume, yeah, take everything at face value, right? But I'm gonna assume even if you don't live that way for real, that's the kind of lifestyle you want to portray. So if I'm not trying to give you nothing, I'm gonna make sure I'm just gonna go the other way. I'm not gonna try to get to know if you're not my. If I know I can't afford you based off just looking at you, I'm not even gonna try. I'm not gonna test the waters and see. Okay, maybe she really is broke in real life, and I can get over. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I say so fellas, listen. The sexual proclivities and attraction of women is for the most part random. There are girls that smash dudes that ain't shit that they went to high school with because he was the man in high school. There are women who want men because of somebody else that want a man. Women have all different types of reasons that they want a man. So I tell guys, if you got a particular girl that you're interested in, respectfully go and shoot your shot. You never know. She might like little hairy motherfuckers, right? Now, if she say no, then go ahead and keep it pushing. Okay? But the point of that is to try to figure out the matrix of what a woman will and won't do. That shit is goulash. It's chaos and random. And that's why when you talk to women, they say, "Oh, every situation is different. Everybody's different. Every relationship is different because they even different for different circumstances." So that's why in 1 minute, this is a chick talking about some, oh, if you don't want to spend $300 or $400 to take me out on the first date, then I ain't got nothing for you. And then that same chick got somebody meat in the back of their neck a week earlier that ain't never even paid for dinner, taking
Right.
her nowhere. paid
Right.
for a goddamn thing. So
Right.
all of this stuff, I'm gonna tell you guys something, fellas. Women give the worst advice for relationships and how to deal with women. If you want to know how to catch a fish, don't ask a fish, ask a fisherman. And I'm fucking Popeye the Sailor in this bitch at 41. And I'm telling you that they don't give a shit about any of that stuff. You waste your time chasing around women that don't want you, they will spend your money, they will waste your time, and then they will put it on you and it won't turn into shit. Women do not respect men who throw their money in their face and simp and sit up and tell them everything is great and this, that, and the other. I got women who sit up who can't fucking stand me because I refuse to lie to y'all about a goddamn thing. And they
Right.
still do what I tell them to do when I tell them to do it because they don't like to deal with men who don't have a backbone, who don't have some principles, morals, and values to stand on, and who don't have any fucking standards. They don't respect men like that. You have to be something worth respecting. So when you got a woman who's out in the streets and she's out in the world, she wants to date this guy, date that guy, do this, do that, talk all of this bullshit about what she's worth, bro. The only thing you got to measure is you wanted to do, she want to smash or not. And if she want to make you pay for it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about her, bro. Don't, especially in this world we living in right now, where women have convinced each other they can sleep with anybody at any time for any reason, and it don't matter to nobody.
Right.
Sex is just free.
Right.
So find your free shit, build your stable out of that, and work backward from there. Don't be chasing these Instagram baddies, this, that, and the other. All of these chicks is for sale. They ain't wives. So what you
All of
want them
them.
for? What we really trying to give you advice for? So you can get some sex
All of
in a
them.
world where sex is free? You want some advice on how to get some sex? Get your weight together, get your money right, get your mind together, and you can find sex when you can't find water out of today's women. So don't worry about any of that. When it comes time to look for a wife, if your wife is talking this type of shit, oh, what you need to pay to try to get to know me? Oh, and you need to pay my nails and you need to do this and you need to do that. If you got a woman whose head is there, that ain't no fucking wife, bro. That ain't no wife. I met wives. I've had wives. I've met wives. I know what wives move like, what they act like. They are helpful and loving and considerate, and they're thinking about what they're going to be in your life to try to help you. They inspire you to be the man that you're supposed to be so that you can do what the hell you need to do. And you need to be that man before you meet her low key, not high key. But a wife is not tripping about any of this shit. She's here to help you. These other chicks, that's
That
just
that
pussy. And pussy costs money. Get over it.
Go ahead,
But I
Steven.
don't think that's true because my mom's a wife and she definitely still has standards and requirements of things that she's just not gonna deal with. And of course, my father
For your
met those
father?
standards.
For your father?
Hmm.
Okay. And so that's a different thing. They're in a meaningful relationship. They're not just meeting one another, right?
Hmm.
So if you're a woman just meeting a man and your standards are is that he's got to ball out on you while you fuck other guys for free, which you've already admitted, then I'm sorry to tell you, you may think not you, right? Because I'm not talking about you. I
Hmm.
don't
Yeah,
know
yeah, I
you,
got you. I got you. Yeah.
but that woman may think she a wife. That don't make her one. That ain't the way no wife move.
Right. And let me
Okay.
say, oh, go ahead, Black Jesus. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's not the way no wife moves. That's not the way they move. Just like there's a certain way that a husband moves. A guy who's looking for a long-term, meaningful relationship with a woman is not gonna fill his time up with chicks that he's just taking a pound town that don't mean nothing to him.
Right.
Because then that's messy when you find the right girl and you're trying to get your shit together.
Right.
It's messy to try to have to do that. Then you get that overlap, and the one that you do like, she's seeing the back end of all of the ones that you didn't give a shit about. And then what about the ones that don't let go right away? Because you know how women are when they get some good D, they don't want to just run off. They're gonna keep hitting you up and try to cause chaos in your life. So dudes who are looking for wives, they're not juggling 10 women. They don't move like that.
Right.
Right? So there's a certain way that husbands move. There's a certain way that wives move. And the way wives move ain't that you need to spend $300 on me to go out
Right.
on a first date.
Right.
That's that pay for play,
Right.
right?
And,
And it ain't
pay for
tricking if you
play.
got
Pay
it.
for play means you're
So
for
pay to
sale.
play. Yeah, pay to
pay
play,
for.
have a good time.
But
But
would
fellas, do
but
not
would y'all
take those
agree that
women
every
serious.
woman comes with a price tag? Women are
You,
expensive in
No, not
general.
every woman comes with a price tag. No, I don't believe that. I think they're great women of virtue with good hearts that deserve good relationships with good men. And every woman ain't out here on this type of time. But when
But you
you are
don't think
dealing
two
with
things
women
can
who
be
are
true
on
at the
this type
same
of
time?
time, what you say?
You don't think two things can be true at the same time? She can still be
Not
a
like
woman
that.
of
No,
virtue and have
nope.
require certain standards from a man who's trying to pursue
Oh
her.
no, 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 no. Okay, so babe, I am definitely not saying that women shouldn't have standards, and if that's what's coming across, that's it. But then
I can't hear you. Went out, Black Jesus.
yeah, I'm not saying that women shouldn't have standards, babe. Your standards are very different though when you're looking for a husband versus when
Mhm.
you're dating some dude that you want to finesse out of some money,
Mhm.
right? And your standards for being out here dating and fucking is what type of restaurant did he take me to?
right.
Your standards for when you're looking for a husband, right, are what type of character does this man have?
Personality,
Is there the
character,
evidence of
loving, caring,
consistency?
compassionate. That stuff matters
Right.
when you really care about the man, when you're looking for a husband. So I'm not
Yeah.
talking.
When you
Sorry to interrupt you, but just really quick. So Steven, I'm not talking about you specifically, but
Oh no, no, I'm not. I can have an adult conversation, not be
yeah,
stupid.
yeah.
Yeah.
So when Black Jesus was like what he said, when these women only be having these standards for certain men, specifically men that they don't like, you are for sale and you have a for sale sign on you. You are escorting, like the access that a man has to you, the respect level, the tolerance level, the compliance that he's going to get out of you is if it's based on how much money he's going to spend, you are for sale. And a lot of you women
But
are for
we
sale.
But
Is
we
what it
live in
is
a
at the end of the
world
day.
where money matters. So if that's the
that's
case, that would
fine.
mean every woman is because every woman is gonna. Nobody want no woman, or I'm not gonna say no woman because there are some women, but a lot of women aren't going after men who don't have a window, a pot. What is it? A pot to piss in,
A
a window
pot
to
to
throw
piss
out
A
of.
in.
pacifist. I
Yeah.
don't think they should. I
Right.
don't believe that
Nobody's
they
saying to
should.
not
I
have
don't think that
standards,
a
Steven.
man.
Steven,
No,
Yeah,
no,
nobody's
no. I
saying
I'm.
to
get what
not
y'all
have
are saying.
standards, but be
Sorry.
but be but be justified. Let your standards be justified for both men and women. And like again, I was saying this earlier. If you as a woman on your own are living a certain lifestyle and you are funding your own lifestyle,
Mm-hmm.
it's not like it's a man funding your lifestyle. So if you get your hair done every 2-3 weeks, if you get a Brazilian wax every month, you get your nails done every 2 weeks. If you are doing that on your own, and you want a man that can not do 100% of that for you all the time, but you want him to be up to a certain level, that is understandable. But if you are a woman that you are only living a certain type of way because a man is funding your lifestyle, and the minute he drops you, you are back to your original zip code and you're putting in Walmart and Target applications. Don't be fake. You are not a high maintenance woman. You are not a high value woman.
That's
So
not true.
stop
You can be
having.
a
So
high
stop
value
having.
woman and work at
Don't
Walmart,
look. All I'm
or
saying
not high
is
value, but high maintenance. Sorry.
all I'm
You
saying
can
is
be, but it's foolish to deal with
don't have
you,
standards.
and you
Don't
a
have
fool for
standards
being
for
a high
yourself.
maintenance woman.
Do not have standards for yourself that when you really do not have certain standards for yourself if you can't live like that on your own. Don't do that, man or woman. But men
Well, you
men
are
really
like,
don't do
hey,
that for real. But women do that a
hold on.
lot.
So check this out. There are lots of women who do that, right? But because part of the way that they live their lives is based off of men who contribute to their lifestyle, that's that's what you was talking about, that prostitution shit. They don't view themselves that way, but men are very black and white. And we say,
Right.
hey, if there's a certain amount of money that I gotta pay to maintain access to your body, then this is very similar to me than a transaction with a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all may not like that, but you're not ever going to change the fact that men feel that way about women who move that way. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's your choice to move that way as a woman. I ain't here to
Right.
shame you or nothing, but I will be honest with how that limits your outcomes for real relationships. You see, the problem women have is y'all get confused about the fact that the type of men that you can sleep with, you think you can also have some type of relationship with if you want to
Exactly.
turn it on. And that is not true. A man's standard for sex is an inch off the ground. And
Very
just because
low.
a dude is willing to push
Very
your
low.
guts in doesn't mean he will offer you a meaningful relationship or a
Mm-hmm.
commitment.
I agree.
So while you guys are sitting up getting your guts pushed in by a dude that would never present you to his family, right? Acting like you flexing on everybody else and looking down on the men who would actually give you a commitment. And
Right.
then when you get up in age, you ain't got nobody who wants you because you don't
Right.
let dudes like me pass your ass around, and
Right.
now you ready to settle down in your 30s after I done plunged your stomach out, and all earnest ain't good enough. And that's
Right.
because men ain't shit. And not
Right.
because you misplayed your youth and hold yourself.
Right. And let me say something. Y'all, hey, y'all please mute up, especially you, Black Jesus, because you're getting an echo. Let me say something real quick. Then you can speak, Stephen. Yeah. So like Black Jesus, and I always say this. They get it very misconstrued. You know, the amount of men that are in their DMs that they don't know from a can of paint. You know, saying something nice to them, and they always get it misconstrued. Like you said, the amount of men that want to sleep with them versus the men that are actually gonna want to be in a serious, committed, exclusive relationship with them. But this is what happens, Black Jesus. They get to an age, and it's younger for some, and it's older for others. They get to an age where they wake up one morning and they have an epiphany moment. Thank you, Khalees. Thank you for the gifts, bro. I appreciate you. They wake up one morning and they have an epiphany moment, and during that epiphany moment, they realize, damn, all these men that I've been dealing with all throughout these years and whatnot, these men don't really like me. These men don't really care for me. I don't hear from these men on my birthday. These men don't, I don't hear from these men on holidays. They don't check up on me. These men literally had a one-sided relationship with me, and they don't see any other value in me. They don't want anything else from me. So now, you know what they do after they have that moment? Now I'm gonna abstain from having sex. Now I'm gonna be celibate. Now I'm gonna wait till marriage. They wait until they get dogged out. They wait until they become a single mother 4 or 5 times, and then they want to do better. Then that dude that had the corporate job, and he paid taxes. He made an honest living, and he got benefits and insurance and all this other stuff. That guy that used to be lame, boring, and a square to them. Now they want to go be with that guy. They don't want to be with the drug dealer and the scammer and the robber no more. They don't want to be with the guy that's at the club every weekend, standing on the couches in a section, popping bottles, pouring the bottles down a woman's throats. They don't want to be with that type of guy no more. What I'm saying is facts. I don't care how any of y'all feel. This is facts. But go ahead, Steven. I just wanted to put that out there. Go ahead, Steven.
That's facts for childish women who aren't looking for a relationship. They're just looking to fuck and get what they can out of a man. And most of them are willing to admit that. I'm just trying to, I'm going where the bag is. But for mature women who are actually looking for a relationship, like for me personally, because I had such a great dad who I saw a household operate a certain way with um in my childhood or whatever, that made me have a certain type of standards for the man who's pursuing me, who I eventually want to marry, da 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 da. But those standards aren't the same if I'm just trying to get a nut. So I think it's a two. The conversation go both ways depending on what you're talking about. Yeah, if you're just talking about a woman who want to fuck, it's very disingenuous of you to make it seem like you have these standards when you really let niggas fuck for free. But if I'm telling you, okay, if we're trying to be serious, then yeah, you do have higher standards than somebody who I'm just trying to fuck. Does that make sense? Because I feel like it's similar to men. Y'all have a certain standard of a woman you want to marry, but the woman you want to fuck, she can look and do anything because you don't really care. You're just trying to fuck.
Sure, but let me
Yes,
ask you
like
this. Sure, but can we agree? And I'm not saying this right, but we have double standards that exist in our country,
Yeah,
in our
absolutely.
society, and some benefit women more and some benefit men more. Can
Hmm.
we agree? Can we agree that men sleeping around is significantly different, and the after effects down the line that is significantly different from women doing the same thing?
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that.
Okay, I don't got anything else to say. Black Jesus, I know you wanted to say something, and then I want Miss Shalay to speak. Go ahead, Black Jesus.
yeah, so it's this is one of those double standard things, and a lot of women have a problem with the fact that men are able to move back and forward across the husband and fuckboy line. That
Mm-hmm.
you can have a guy who's a fuckboy that's racking up bodies, and then when he decides to settle down, he still has those options. A guy has the ability to move back and forward across that line, and women typically do not have the ability to move back and forward across that line. Now, the reason guys are able to move back and forward across that line is because women do not disqualify men they want for their body counts.
Facts.
Y'all don't. Y'all just don't do it. If Y'all can say whatever y'all want about how it's unfair or this, that, and the other, but you're still picking us and having sex with us and want a relationship with us when we're ready to settle down. Men, however, are not like that as a group. As a group, men who want long-term meaningful relationships and are ready to be loyal and sit down or try to be something to one woman and take on that responsibility as a husband do not want women who have been on that side of the line where they just had guys they thought was cute, so they let them do a whole bunch of nasty shit to them, or you done been with more than one dude at a time, or you done had an OnlyFans, or you got some super, or you got a high body count. Men don't allow you to move back across, and most men do not allow you to move back across into the wife lane after you've gone into the hoe lane. And that's why right now we got the least married group of women in the history of the entire world, because they've been sold a bill of goods that it's misogynist for men to be this way. And y'all say that, oh, these preferences that men have to not deal with women who have done that, it's misogyny and patriarchy and it's toxic masculinity. No, it's not. It's just a preference that men are willing to forego otherwise beautiful women in marriage. We're willing to do it, and y'all aren't. And that's not our fault that y'all aren't. And we're not going to change our standards because y'all aren't. Just like women don't change the standard that they would prefer to be with a man that's at least taller than them. That's their standard. Guys don't care about your fucking height. And we don't care how much money you make for the most part. Right? So we each have our standards that as a group we enforce. Right? And women, y'all don't enforce body count. Y'all complain about it, but y'all don't enforce it. So it's not a real thing. It's a stupid ass argument about something that's never going to fucking change. No matter how much we go back and forth about it, it's never going to change, because men who want wives and want to give the title of wife and mother to a woman for her to be the first teacher and preacher and nurse of his child, right? They don't want to give that to a woman that 100 niggas done jumped up and down on. Point blank, period. And that's not ever going to change about men, no matter how much toxic masculinity you try to attach to it. That's just the animal you're dealing with. I'm sorry to tell you guys, and I'm sorry nobody else told you. Right? And so, and to fellas, I'll make this point to you and then I'll hand it back. Right? You are living a different life than the women. Your life is moving on a different path, bro. Right? Women have a different experience of reality than you. So when they bring you into these conversations where they talk about what's fair for men or what's fair for women or what they should expect, this is what women are talking about based off of what they think. Fuck what they think. You need to know how to win. So you listen to other guys who are older, who have won, and they will tell you what to do. And what men like me are telling you to do is do not worry about blowing through your money chasing some woman that don't really want you.
Facts.
Look at raise your personal value to as high as you can. Get your mental health game tight, so you ain't bringing the aggression and frustration of how you was raised into your relationship. Go out and live a life so you can learn some lessons, so you have something to teach in your own home and a basis for leadership where a woman can look at you and say, yeah, this man is smart. I can trust his judgment, right? Build up some character, right? Build up an income stream for yourself or a skill for yourself where you always have access to money, right? Build a life underneath your income means so that you can afford the life that you have and you can bring some stability to the table. Because I'm going to tell you something. These hoes out here, they may want Ruth Chris, but these wives, they get wet for some stability, homie. They get
Facts.
wet for some stability and some character.
Facts.
Build yourself to the highest value you can. I don't give a fuck if that's $50,000 a year. Young man, build it. And then when you get there, look at the women who want you and deal with them. Don't chase these women who are talking about handbags and red bottoms and they got, oh, I got eyelashes that cost me this, that, and the other, and my lips and my hips and they're leading women to, if they let you fuck, then great. Consider it a win, right? That's high five. If they don't, who cares? They fucking everybody else anyway.
Facts.
Don't worry about it.
Facts.
That's what you need to know. And all the shit that the women are saying in the comment section is how they feel about this information. But I am telling you guys, if you listen to what I am telling you, you will win more often than you will win listening to what a woman tell you about how to deal with women. They ain't honest with themselves about nothing. So how they gonna give you some truth about how to deal with women? Most of them lying to themselves about any and everything to protect their ego and their feelings and their emotions. That's
Facts.
why you can sit up, give them all types of data, statistics, facts, look at basic reality. I had a
Ignore it.
woman argue with me yesterday because she didn't want to admit that women like men who are taller than them. She's like, well, I can't speak for all women. I'm like, you argumentative motherfucker, you. You know, like like to take advice from somebody who has absolutely no desire to tell you the truth if it makes them wrong, like
Terrible.
has no willingness to be honest if the truth hurts their feelings. That's why they
Terrible.
talk this tone shit all the time. Because they don't give a fuck about honesty, data, statistics, math, logic, history, anthropological data, hypothesis, scientific method. A woman don't give a fuck about common sense, logic, reason, rationale, none of it. She cares about her feelings. And so you taking advice from somebody with a mindset like that, that'll bring up 1% of 1% of 1% of women to be right, is a waste of your fucking time. A woman cannot tell you how to deal with women, and a woman cannot teach you shit about being a man. They playing life on easy mode, and that's cool, because your life will never be better than when you have a good woman in it. But you got to become something. So quit looking for a cheat code and get to work.
Facts. Listen. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to say. Mr. Lay, go ahead and unmute. Thank you for waiting so patiently. I hope you're having a great day. Mr. Lay, the
I
floor is yours.
am. I
Speak,
am. Hi,
Mr. Lay, the
dear.
floor is yours. Speak on whatever you want to speak on.